can I have another wine?
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you want it, just come get it.
A Giggle Gang podcast.
Just be myself.
For fuck's sake.
You know, sometimes people pay me to say ridiculous shit, and sometimes I just say it for free.
Jesus Christ.
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
I like rusty spoons. No, that's awful. I don't want to do it.
Hi, I'm Simon Lomas, and I like rusty spoons. do you mind if I eat a steak pasty? There you go.
Can you say, do you mind if I eat a steak pasty?
Do you mind if I eat a steak pasty? Just like that, with my voice, or with salad fingers.
Salad fingers.
Yeah.
It's the same, isn't it? It's no difference. It is. Oh, where that came from? You were giving me a lift, weren't you?
Yeah. No, but it's your thing though. You are a steak pasty man.
Yeah, I do like a steak pasty.
You do.
They are the best out of all the
I bet
pasties.
your cholesterol's high.
Probably, it might be, you know, I eat quite a lot of like carbohydrates and
Good idea.
stuff.
They make me feel sick though.
What else do you eat?
I was eating a lot of profiteroles at one point.
Like full time or just one day?
What do you mean?
Like, were you eating profiteroles like every day
Not every
consistently,
day.
or just one day you probably ate like 20?
Two to 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
How many would you eat in like a sitting?
8.
So that's 24 profiteroles a week.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
That's a fair whack of...
Yeah, it's almost one a day.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was gigging, and then I get quite hungry after gigs because I wouldn't really have dinner.
Yeah, because I can see you're quite physical on stage, aren't you?
Yeah, I move around quite a lot. Yeah, burning those calories, mate. I have to load up.
Yeah, the night before.
Yeah,
and some rice.
I have a bowl of shredded
brown
wheat.
rice and porridge.
But I'd get quite hungry after gigs, so I think it's like the adrenaline, isn't it? It makes you hungry.
Yeah.
And there's a 24-hour Asda near where I live. So I'd just go in there and buy like this tub of 8 profiteroles and just eat them at home. It became quite a bad habit actually. So I was doing
You like profiteroles?
I do, yeah.
You do.
I know that, and his favourite meal is toad in the hole.
We made it for you, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just egg, like a boiled egg and toast, or the...
That's
No, toad in the hole.
That's
it's
egg in a basket you're thinking of. mate.
Yorkshire pudding with sausages in and gravy.
Toad in the hole.
I've never had it then.
Oh,
I just thought it was like a bit of bread with a circle cut out and you put like an egg in the middle.
That's eggy in a basket.
Right, okay.
It's a very traditional English meal. So when Simon came to tea once and we said, right, well, mate, whatever you want, what's your favourite food? And he said it was toad in the hole because Steve's a bit of a chef. Okay. So he didn't buy the frozen shit. Is
there anything that Steve can't do?
Well, there's a couple of things, but I don't want to say it on podcast. I don't think it's what you can't do, it's what I won't do.
Right.
Yeah, it's what she won't do.
But it's so we made it toad in the hole, and I remember saying to him, well, what do you like for dessert? And he said profiteroles, but we went to the supermarket because he didn't make them, we didn't have time. But they had none in, so we bought him chocolate eclairs instead because that was the closest thing.
I like chocolate eclairs.
Yeah, that's the closest thing we could find to profiteroles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a stretched limousine profiterole.
Yeah. A hummer profiterole.
I could imagine that Simon's such a superstar that he would be like invited round yours for dinner. You'd make his favourite meal. You'd bring him chocolate eclairs, and he'd be like, "These are not fucking profiteroles."
Like, he kind of did a bit of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a diva, isn't it? But we can't argue because he did bring us red wine the first time. He did bring a bottle of red wine.
Bring you wine, and I bring you like lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie. And his mum bakes us some banana bread and sends it up with him as well.
Yeah.
We're still to be invited round Simon's. Apparently his mum's invited us, but I think Simon's afraid to actually have us round his mother's, and I don't know why.
Well, based on the display I saw earlier, two people approaching their mid-50s wrestling on the floor.
I'm not even mid-40s, it's him, he's old.
49.
That's fine. But yeah, the wrestling on the floor probably is, some of the reason
Well,
I was seeing
I
Simon.
can compose myself at someone
I
else's
can as well.
house.
I would help with the cooking.
Would you?
I'd wash up.
I'd smile at the roast potatoes to make them crispy.
That's
Simon.
what Simon does.
Simon, can you just explain to the listeners how you make
the perfect roast potato.
The perfect roast potato.
So, when I was a kid, when we had like a roast or like Christmas dinner, my mum used to make me smile at the roast potatoes to make them crispy.
So he came in the kitchen and he smiled at the roast potatoes.
They did me a roast
For how long?
Oh, good 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, smiling at them. And to the point where my daughters were like, "What the fuck is he doing?" I'm like, "Oh, did you not know this is how you make roast potatoes for future husbands? When you get a husband, girls,
you're lucky enough to be with a guy like Simon."
Yeah, but were the roast potatoes crispy?
They were lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like there was duck fat. It was amazing.
Yeah. Next time, because it's always the last thing to cook, so I think next time, give them 5 minutes, laugh at them, try laughing instead of just smiling, tell them a couple of jokes.
It's too much.
Yeah.
They overheat.
He's got a smile again.
Yeah.
If he tells one of his jokes, it's just mash.
The potatoes kill themselves.
If I was going to be a superhero for a day,
Fucking potatoes, I've got to clean the oven after that
what would
shit.
it be? A Saturday. Crispy potatoes.
Not put up with that, Simon.
Come on, let's leave him to it.
That's my water. What are you playing at?
Come on, let's go.
There's cold water in the fridge, Simon. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in a big blue bottle.
Get Simon on that Jack Daniels. It'll be a much funnier podcast. Yeah.
Does Simon get drunk?
No, it's not.
Really.
We've offered. We have said he can stay over one night.
So did you just drive out to your house, spend some time with you, and then drive home?
Yeah, he must love us that much because it's quite a trek for him.
It's very hard.
It's a good 30 mile in it, Simon.
You
It's
don't
not.
like.
Why is it hard?
But what do you go for? Do you go for the meal, or do you go for the company, or like what's the selling point?
Just to hang out.
Yeah.
He goes for the crack.
That's not my daughter's, by the way.
Right, so now that Lindsay and Steve are gone, I'm just here with Simon. Why do you like Lindsay and Steve?
I just think they're really funny, and I just get on well with them, and they just really, they're just really caring, and they've just been dead nice to me. And Steve's a really good cook as well, so yeah.
You should have heard some of the shit they said about you.
I don't know. On their podcast.
Yeah, it was really horrible, and you've just been like so lovely.
It comes from a place of love, though. I'm sure.
From them, they love you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they're quite envious of your success at a young age.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I don't. What?
I remember going to a gig with Lindsay, and she was like, "I'm not going if Simon Lomas is going." So it's maybe it's that sort of energy that they've got towards you.
What do you mean? Are you joking?
No.
Why wouldn't she go if I was going?
Because it was a competition.
Oh right, okay.
And I've literally just told you that we're not going to talk about comedy, and straight away I've gone into it. Let's just get away from that, because you do look like a Make-A-Wish child.
Yeah, I do.
So, like, tell me about Simon Lomas as like a 9-year-old boy.
I was don't know. I was just a bit of a nerd.
Okay.
At school. Primary school, I didn't get bullied, but I kind of was like a bit of a outsider kind of thing. I didn't really have many friends.
Okay.
Did
you have any friends?
I had a couple of mates that I hung around with. And
who were they?
There's a guy called Carl. Why are you laughing at that?
Carl just sounds like a made-up name.
That's a real name.
No, I know people called Carl. Just the name Carl threw me off. I thought his name was going to be like Peter or something. You know what I mean?
No, Carl.
Yeah,
was my friend. There's a guy called Sam who was my friend as well.
Okay. And like when you say you were nerdy, were you like into like comic books, or were you into films? Like, what was the things that you were nerdy about, or were you more like proper nerd into like science and things like that?
Yeah, I was into like science and stuff, and bit of maths, and just like, I don't know, just weird, like, do you know what? When I was a kid, I liked clowns. You know, clowns.
Yeah.
And I used to like collect them, like little like
figurines of
little
clowns.
figurines, yeah.
Of clowns.
Of clowns, yeah.
A certain type of clown, or
just any clown.
Like Krusty? Would you have like a Krusty one?
Nah, it's more like, you know, like kind of porcelain figurines of them and stuff.
Like a porcelain doll. How
Yeah,
big was the
kind
clown?
of. It any size. I would like. I can't explain it. I just liked clowns. So like, if we went into like a shop or something and there's like a clown in, I'd just buy it. Or well, I'd get my mum to buy it. I didn't have any money. But like porcelain, like a wooden clown, like a puppet or whatever, anything.
Is it because you wanted to be a clown?
Maybe. Yeah, it could be.
Have you been a clown yet?
No, not like in the circus.
Okay, but have you ever like dressed up, like if I painted your face and?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I'm sure I would have dressed up as a clown. Yeah.
Right.
And then we're actually once at school. I think it might have been for the summer fair. They were like doing like a leaflet for it to advertise it. And then
advertise what?
The summer fair.
Right. Okay.
For the school.
Yeah.
And the school got me to draw a picture of a clown for them to use. So I was quite well known for my love of clowns.
And what the fuck? Where is that taking you now?
I don't know. I kind of grew out of it really. But maybe that's like kind of why I like comedies. You know, that kind of the clown thing. I've never really thought about that before. I've not thought about it since I was a kid, actually.
What was the attraction to clowns? Did you like the way they looked, or the way they acted, or the clothes that they wore? Like, what was the big driver towards clowns?
Do you know what? I was actually like, in real life, I was really scared of them.
Okay.
I remember...
Because I used to be really scared of clowns.
Yeah.
And balloons.
I was scared of balloons.
Yeah.
Something about like not knowing when they're gonna bang.
I also didn't like the colours as well, because I was colourblind. I couldn't like see them, and so like it was too bright, and that was the same problem I have with clowns as well. It was too bright. That's why I wear very dark clothes now.
Oh really?
I don't like much colour because I don't really identify with it because I can't see it. I'm like a dog basically. I only see black and white.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know what? Does it affect like cooking? Because when I was at uni, there was a guy who was colourblind, and I had to tell him when his mince was cooked because he couldn't see when it was cooked.
Oh no, it's not that bad. I know when mince is cooked. That guy's just a fucking idiot. Like.
No, it's like because like obviously when you're colourblind, I think like colours look kind of grey, don't they? Is that what it is?
Yeah. The way that I describe it is like, I can see that you're wearing a red shirt now, but
Right.
the way that I see red and the way that you see red is different. Because like, you know, when you're a child and your mum has like a flashcard, or you're looking at a book and it's like, that's red. And you're like, okay, that's red. But when you're looking at that and what I see as red is different. And if you're reading red or orange, I struggle to differentiate between red and orange, and yellow and orange, and green and yellow, and blue and black and all that. It's like dark and light. So I really struggle with different colours. That's why I don't like them as much.
Yeah,
that's
interesting.
But I definitely know when mince is cooked.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Maybe he just wanted to spend more time with you.
Maybe.
It's like, Simon, I'm cooking mince again tonight. You're like, oh, I'll come over.
Mate, it's the 5th time this week. Have something else.
Have a sausage. I don't know when those are cooked either. Whereabouts did you go to uni?
In Stoke-on-Trent.
Okay.
Yeah.
But where are you from? Manchester?
Yeah.
Do you notice how I said Manchester the way that people from Manchester say it?
It's very good.
Because they used to say Manchester,
right, okay.
and then people started making fun of me. Yeah. So I've changed now. But whereabouts in Manchester?
I was born at St Mary's Hospital, and then I grew up in Droylsden.
Okay.
Which is like a
Tameside.
Tameside, yeah.
Mm.
And now I live in Ashton, which
Okay.
is just a bit further out than Droylsden.
Mm. Ashton's alright. I know the 24-hour Asda that you're speaking about now.
Yeah.
I've been there many times.
Have you? It's good. It's not 24-hour on Saturdays or Sundays.
Right, okay.
But
good quality profiteroles.
yeah, really good. Do you know what though? I've recently discovered that Lidl do very similar profiteroles for about half the price.
Yeah, and there's a little just across the street.
There is.
On the other side of that intersection.
Yeah, so I can just get them from there instead. But that closes at 10.
What's your favourite supermarket?
Don't know. I do like Asda, but it's probably because it's the one that's close to me. I love a Morrison's actually.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have a Morrison's in Ashton, but I quite like it. I think it's a bit of a.
Do you like the salad bar in Morrison's?
Never been.
Oh, there's like in like big Morrison's, there's like a serve your own salad bar, and you pay for like the pot, and you can dish up your own salad.
I like it in Pizza Hut.
A little bit, yeah. When it was all you can eat at Pizza Hut. Did they have those here? Where
Yeah, they
could
still
literally
have
pay
all
like...
you can eat.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they'd gotten rid of all of them.
No, they still do it.
Where?
Till 3 o'clock or something. Well, there's a Pizza Hut in Ashton, at the Snipe, or Droylsden or Audenshaw at the Snipe, and they do it. I went there with Mike Newall a couple of months ago.
And how many slices of pizza did you get through?
Quite a few, yeah. I wasn't counting, but yeah.
How cheap is it as well? Is it really cheap?
It's like, I can't remember. I think it's like £7 maybe.
£7 for all you can eat pizza.
And you get a salad bowl as well.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing is, got a little cheat. So nachos in Pizza Hut probably about £5 or something.
Yeah.
But salad bar, you can get. They do nachos, they do salsa, and they do jalapenos. So you can just make your own nachos at the salad bar. Yeah.
But then you have to sit in. Like you can't take it away, can you?
Well, no, but you do that in Pizza Hut.
You don't sit in on usually at pizza. Usually it's a pick up and go.
Oh, I've never done that.
Really?
Sometimes, if I can't eat on my pizza, I'll box it up and take it with me. But I've always like sat in when I've been to Pizza Hut.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so odd. It's like that's not the normal thing though. Is Domino's more of a takeaway? Is it?
Yeah.
Is Pizza Hut the sit-in pizza?
Yeah, because it has chairs and tables, doesn't it? It's like more of a restaurant, like Pizza Express.
Fuck, we're thinking about different Pizza Huts. I think the Pizza Huts in Australia do not have tables and chairs in them.
Really?
Yeah. It was like there was the all-you-can-eat bit that was like a restaurant, but then that all got taken away like probably 15 years ago, and now it's just a shop face. You walk up, you grab your pizza, you leave them. The only seats are there are for cunts waiting for their pizza.
Yeah. Wow. No, mate, come to the one on the Snipe in Audenshaw. It's not. They've got like proper.
It's near the tram line, is it? I think I've been past it.
Yeah, it's got like
near Hollywood Bowl.
No, well, not far from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got like an Argos and like a B&Q and stuff. Why are you laughing?
Greater Manchester with Simon Lomas. Greater Manchester food spots. I was going to ask you what your favourite restaurant is, but I assume it's probably Pizza Hut.
It's not actually. My favourite restaurant is Yard and Coop.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've not heard of Yard and Coop.
Oh, mate.
Where is it?
There's two of them. There's one in Manchester, one in Liverpool.
Okay.
And it's buttermilk, fried chicken. Yeah.
Anything else, or it's just that's all they serve?
They do chips as well.
Okay.
But yeah, they're like a fried chicken specialist.
Okay. But like posh fried chicken.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it posh, but it's like
if KFC is for the everyman, is Yard and Coop for the posh man?
It's like Nando's for fried chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not that posh, but like it's still quite.
It's better than KFC.
Okay. Because Nando's is quite expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. You
also, as well, have a fascination with tinned fruit.
Well, not really. So I did. Did you listen to that podcast?
I did listen to some of it. It was a difficult listen.
Really? How come?
It was just you talking about tinned fruit.
Well, this is the thing. So I did Mr. Badger's podcast, and he was like, right, you got to talk about something that you know a lot about and teach me about it. And I was like, I don't know anything about anything that I can talk to you about, really. So he was just like, just talk to me about tinned fruit, and I just had to make...
So he suggested tinned fruit?
I'm pretty sure he suggested it, yeah. So I just had to make stuff up. And I think I did quite a good job, actually. None of it was like factually correct.
Right.
But it's, you know, it's just...
So your dad didn't used to be a tin?
He wasn't the tin man, no. But I just had to make it. I just, you know, just made it up, and hopefully it was, you know, entertaining and people enjoyed it. But it wasn't. None of it was true. Like, the whole podcast is ridiculous.
Yeah. I did one with him where I spoke about love, and I didn't really know much about love.
Don't you?
Yeah. I am in love, but that doesn't make me, you know, an expert about love. Have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you elaborate?
No.
Why not?
Nah, I can't.
Why not?
I don't want to talk about it.
Are you in love at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's somebody that I know?
Yeah, but it's not like...
It's not public? It's not a public discussion?
It's not public, and it's kind of...
Maybe they don't love you back, Simon.
Nah, it's just... Oh, mate. It's difficult. It's like come to an end now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
So you didn't choose to have it come to an end?
I did, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why... I don't understand why you're sad then.
Because I still love them.
Oh. Was it a mistake?
Was what a mistake?
The ending, the coming to an end, or was it just because you're a busy man, you're hard to tie down.
No, it was just the right thing. It just wasn't the right time for it to. You know.
Is that the first time you've been in love, or have there been other times?
No, I think that's the first time.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. You got anything more that you want to say? I don't know. I didn't mean to bring you here and make you uncomfortable.
No, it's fine. I'm not uncomfortable. I think it's good to talk about it.
It is good to talk about it.
I just don't know if they'd be happy for me to... I listened to the podcast that they did as well.
Yeah. Is that what prompted you to come on more? Because I was dubious about asking you, because I've had... how do I frame this? I've had performers that are similar to your persona on stage, very low energy performers.
Yeah.
On before, and it's sort of been a mixed bag in regards to like how engaging they are on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah. So I was a little bit like dubious to have you on, but then you were like, you know,
Am I doing well?
You're doing all right. Yeah.
Okay.
If you could give a bit more, that would be obviously ideal. But I know that's not your thing.
No, I can give more if you want. If you want to talk about that, that's fine. It's just, I don't know, because I think they kind of talked quite a lot about it in the last one, saying that they kind of didn't want a relationship and stuff, and they were dating. And it was really nice, but it just got to the point where I kind of felt like if we weren't going to be together, then I'd have to like end it, because I didn't want to get hurt.
So you sort of like stopped it from hurting you before it could
hurting
really hurt.
Either of us, really, because neither of us were really happy. And we kind of talked about it quite a lot. And she was kind of worried about the circuit and didn't really want to kind of be with a comedian.
That's quite a common thing as well. I think Steve and Lindsay are going through that a bit as well. the judgment from the circuit when they've been friends for quite some time, and then very shortly after were engaged to be married.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole thing about people talking, the circuit might talk. Do you really think that the circuit, if we label them as like this, ominous figure that almost like controls what's going on, do you really think they have that much influence, or do you perceive them to have influence on yourself?
No, it didn't really bother me. She was kind of the one that was worried about it, and I completely understood it and stuff. It was it also just made me quite sad that she was worried about that, because I felt like it was like a hurdle that we were struggling to overcome. And I just decided that rather than kind of maybe making her feel like she has to commit or be in a relationship with me, which is something that I felt would make her unhappy, because she's not in because it's not what she wanted, and she's just not in the right place for it and stuff. I felt it'd just be better to just not kind of to stop seeing each other. Just
cut it off.
Yeah.
Hectic. Well, this podcast has taken a sad turn,
I'm
hasn't it,
sorry.
Simon?
Yeah, and I'm really, I'm really sad about it. I am.
All right. Well, we'll stop talking about it, because I didn't mean to make you sad.
Oh no, it's fine.
It's good. It's good that you were able to,
Yeah.
face up. I don't know what the term is.
No, I think it's good to talk about stuff like that.
So what's on the cards for you now? Because I had a conversation with another comedian. I won't say who it is, because I'm going to reveal some quite personal information, but I can tell you privately off air if it really matters to you. But he basically had a conversation with me and my lovely girlfriend Hazel, saying he is terrified that he had a girlfriend, girlfriend and him broke up. This was 18 months ago, and he's terrified that was it, he's missed his chance, and that no one will sort of ever love him again. And he spends a lot of time doing comedy, does a lot of gigs, he's relatively successful on the circuit, gets a lot of paid work, and he's just like, if I keep doing comedy the way I do comedy, I don't have time for a relationship, but I'll do less comedy if it means I can have a girlfriend, was sort of the approach. Have you got any advice to that, or have you felt anything similar in that respect?
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, it's difficult, and you feel like kind of when you meet someone like that who you love, and you feel loves you as well. It can be difficult to kind of move on.
Do you feel like comedy is more important to you personally than a relationship at the moment?
I don't know. I think when we were seeing each other, comedy did start to kind of take more of a back seat. And I was more interested in just kind of seeing her and spending time with her. And I'd even find myself at gigs. I'd go and do a gig, and then I'd be like meeting her afterwards or something. I'd be like, I can't wait for this gig to be done so I can go on.
Do you think it affected you, like your performance? Do you think you weren't as funny, maybe? Or do you feel like it could have?
No, I think I was still giving it. What are you laughing at?
I thought you were going to say I was still giving it my all, and I was like just thinking about you and when I've seen you like giving it your all.
Yeah.
You're just standing completely still, not looking at anyone, just literally saying words very slowly.
I know.
Simon's giving it his all.
No, I still enjoyed gigging, and I still, put. All the effort in, but it did kind of start to take a bit of a back seat, which it's not her fault at all. It's a
you problem. That.
Yeah. I just
Let's get away from the topic of love, though.
Okay.
And let's get on to you learning how to drive, because that was quite I assume a big period of time in your life.
Yeah, what big is in it important?
Yeah, because now you're like driving. Like, you even text me today. You're like, where can I park? Because I'm driving.
Yeah.
Is it like has it changed your outlook on like living where you live and being able to travel?
Yeah, definitely. It's it's given me a lot more freedom. Back before I had a car, if I was doing a gig in the middle of nowhere, it's like inaccessible by public transport. I'd have to get a lift and stuff, sort all that out. Even if I was gigging somewhere and I was getting back into town on the train after all the buses had finished, I'd have to get like an Uber from town to Ashton, which can be like a tenner. And
that's a tenner you really can't afford.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Have you got any stories about learning to drive?
Have I? I can tell you about my test.
Yeah,
that's quite funny.
That's what I'm trying to get at, Simon. The point of this podcast is that I speak to you about topics and then you come in with a funny story.
All right, I thought it was more of a kind of therapy session.
No, that's not it at all. So I've been trying to like hit you with different topics, trying to coax out stories. It's like getting blood out of a stone. Like, I keep telling you topics and you just give me like straight answers, and then you just look back at me and you're like, next question.
All right, okay, sorry. I think I prefer to be like like a kind of background character, like in Lindsay and Steve's one.
Yeah.
And then I can just interject whenever I have like something funny to say.
Yeah. That's the spotlight's on you.
Yeah. I'm feeling the pressure now.
This has definitely been one of the most difficult interviews I've ever done. And
really?
This is the 80th person I've interviewed on this podcast, and probably in the close to the 1,000 mark of people that I've interviewed on recordings in my radio career, and you are definitely up there with one of the hardest. But I like challenges,
Yeah.
I like bringing you here. Am I doing a good job as an interviewer? Do you think?
Mate, you're really good. Yeah. I'm not gonna, can't deny it. It's just the way. Also, the way you kind of go from one topic to it's really like the segues and stuff. It's smooth.
Thank you.
I like it.
Well, tell me about your test.
Right. So my test was in March. It was really rainy.
Okay. This is the practical driving test.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd been driving for about 5 months, I think.
Okay. Because here, I don't know if you know, in Australia, right, we need to do 100 hours of driving, and it needs to be logged in a book before you can do your practical test. Here, you could go and do like an intensive week-long thing and then get your practical. So you get your license in a week if you could.
Yeah.
Or you had the time to. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But you'd been driving for 5 months.
Yeah, I'd probably done about maybe 35 hours of lessons.
Okay.
And I was doing my test, and it was raining. It was pouring it down. And I go in the test centre, meet my examiner. We go up to the car, and my instructor gives me the keys. But the thing is, like, I'd never unlocked the car because obviously my instructor would pick me up.
Yeah.
I'd just get in, start the engine, and drive off. So. For about a minute, I was pressing the wrong button to try and open the car with the examiner there.
So you were pressing the lock button instead of the
pressing the lock button,
instead of the unlock button.
And I didn't really, and I was pulling the handle like, why is it not opening?
Because you'd seen people unlock cars before, so you knew you had to press the button.
I knew you had to press the button, but I was just pressing the wrong one.
Did you not look at the? Did you look at it? Did you think that the lock meant unlock?
I had a quick glance.
Was it a picture of a lock? Because on my mum's car, it literally says lock and unlock, like the words on it.
Yeah, it's like this. So it has
just had pictures.
A padlock, and then
an unlocked
an
padlock.
unlocked one. But I was just pressing the wrong one. I don't know why. You get nervous, don't you? It's just the test day nerves. And then I unlocked the car and got in it. And I noticed that the wing mirror was in. So before I start the engine, I get out and I start trying to pull the wing mirror out. Yeah.
It doesn't go automatically?
Yeah, my examiner said, oh, that comes out automatically when you start the engine. So I was there in the rain trying to prise this wing mirror out.
Is that an English thing? Because pushing your wing mirrors in, like I've never seen anyone do that. And then like recently I've got into a few cars here and people are like pushing their own mirrors out.
It might be because the streets are more narrow.
Right.
And obviously you can clip someone's wing mirror.
Yeah, it's okay. There's another guy that lives here, don't worry.
Yeah, you can kind of clip someone's wing mirror on a narrow street.
Right.
So it might be why. Do you not have that at all in Australia?
Now we've got plenty of space, like
Yeah.
you know. So I've never ever pushed out or in a wing mirror ever. So in my mum's car, it's automatic. So they go in when she stops and opens when she goes.
When she stopped, like, oh right, okay.
No, not
traffic lights.
No. Like when the car's off,
okay.
stop completely. She's got like automatic Honda Jazz, great car. But yeah, every other car, the wing mirrors just stay where they are.
Wow.
So you're trying to push an automatic wing mirror.
Well, I was trying to pull it, trying to get it back out.
Right.
Because I'd never, you know.
So you got out of the car to like pull. You didn't try and push
in the
them
rain,
inside.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And he was like, oh, I think it comes out when you start the engine.
So the examiner is a guy that you've never met before?
Yeah.
And he's just thinking you're a fucking
Yeah.
idiot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've known him about 5 minutes and he thinks I'm a moron.
1 minute of that you've spent trying to unlock a car, pressing the lock button.
Yeah.
So what happened when you got into the car?
I got in the car and I started the engine. He put the demisters on for me.
Okay.
Because it was raining and the windscreen was all misted up.
Did you not know how to work the demister?
I did, yeah, but I think he assumed that I didn't.
Okay.
For some reason.
Could you blame him?
And then we set off. We started with a bit of sat-nav driving. So they have that on the test now.
What, looking at a sat-nav and...
Just following a sat-nav, yeah. Because what happens is, before they brought that in, people would pass the test.
Yeah.
They'd never used a sat-nav before while driving.
Mm.
And they just, they wouldn't know what they're doing. They'd, get distracted and crash and stuff. So it's part of the test now.
How long ago did they bring that in?
I don't know. Probably a few years ago.
Okay. And is it a GPS sat-nav, or are you using your phone in a cradle?
No, it's just like a TomTom.
A TomTom,
yeah.
Right. What do you think the biggest sat-nav brand is?
TomTom?
Have you heard of Navman?
I have, yeah. Is that bigger? What? Why is that funny?
I don't know. Do you want to put money on it? How much have you got?
But do you know that it's?
I don't know. But do you want to put 10p on the fact that it's TomTom?
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
It's really biggest as in like best selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, go on then.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay. I'm going to put in highest sales sat-nav brands. Okay. The 5 best-selling sat-navs on the market. You know what? We're both wrong.
Really?
It's Garmin.
Garmin?
Yeah. Just put this away.
That was a waste of time.
You can keep your 10 pence. So now that we've established what a podcast is and what you're actually supposed to be doing, have you done a podcast before?
I have, yeah.
Apart from Mr. Badgers?
Yeah, I did. I did one with a guy called David Stanier about video games.
Okay.
I've not listened back to it though.
Right. Was it not good?
No, it was really good actually. David's a really nice guy, but I just not listened back to it. I was just jabbering on about video games.
Okay.
But I don't really know much about them.
What do you actually know about maths?
No, I don't really know much about anything.
Is it because you haven't taken the time to learn, or are you a jack of all trades and a master of none? Not
really. I did like a film degree. I know a bit about films, but not enough to. I wouldn't, go on a podcast and talk about them to someone because I don't know enough about them to be like a.
Did you study like film, like the theory of film, or did you study how to actually do film?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Stoke.
In Stoke-on-Trent, yeah.
What do you think of Staffordshire oatcakes?
I don't think I've ever had one.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in Stoke for 2 days and I
Really?
had 3 of them.
Alright.
What did you do in Stoke?
Don't know, I ate a lot of just like cheesy chips and stuff and burgers and McDonald's. Yeah. I never had an oat cake.
How are you not overweight? You have such a poor diet. Profiteroles, cheesy chips, burgers.
I don't
What
know.
have you got in there? What snacks have you got in there?
It's just tissues.
Oh right, it's just tissues. Okay.
Yeah, Iron Man tissues.
You've got quite a runny nose.
I have. Can you tell? What are you laughing at? Oh, mate.
You've literally. What have you got there?
Carmex.
What is Carmex?
It's like lip moisturiser, lip balm.
So you carry lip balm and tissues.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're excited to be a parent or like a grandparent?
I've not really thought about it.
Is it so you haven't even thought it's maybe something you might want to do?
No, I don't know.
On a podcast, Simon, you can't answer with "nah, I don't know."
But that's my honest answer. I don't know if I'd like to have like children. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be a father.
Really?
I think it'd be great. Like I can just imagine me in my own house, with a big backyard. My kids have got like a like the shit version of like a school playground. You can buy them from like.
Is it called a jamboree?
No.
I'm sure it's called a jamboree. Isn't it a jamboree? Or it has it's like the thing with it has a swing and like a slide and stuff.
I don't think it's called a jamboree.
I'm sure it's called a jamboree. I'm googling it.
I'm thinking maybe of dungarees, which are like overalls. He's now googling to see.
No, it's not called a jamboree.
What's a jamboree? It's an Australian thing. A jamboree.
Is it really?
Yeah. What is a jamboree? Is it a little like?
I think it's something to do with the scouts.
Oh yeah. That's a meeting. That's like a scouts meeting. Is called a jamboree.
No, it is called a jamboree. Look, it's one of them, innit?
Yeah.
It's called a jamboree.
A jamboree fort. Yeah. That's what I imagine in my backyard. So my kids and I'm like there with my barbecue and I've got like a nice cold beer in my hand and Hazel's in the kitchen and she's making the coleslaw and then like we have like an outdoor setting table and I sort of call the kids over and I'm like, come on kids, come sit down, right, mum's coming out with the food, I'm serving up like the sausages and that, but they're vegetarian because Hazel's vegetarian so we can't have just meat, flying around the place. And then we all just sit down, we eat our lunch in the sun and take the kids to the beach and it's just fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that not appeal to you?
I don't know. I think you've it's difficult to know until like you've met someone, isn't it?
Well, my attitude towards kids before I met Hazel was, why would I want to have kids? What do they bring to you? All they are is just expensive.
Yeah,
just
annoying as well.
Annoying,
just make noise.
Time waster. And I sort of still have some of those same notions. Like I think about kids now and I think expensive, no time to myself. Like you'll stop being selfish really, really quick. And all your attention and energy is just going to go into this like little person. But then because I'm comfortable with the person that I'm going to have them with, if that makes sense, it's more desirable. But if I was just on my own, I'm not being like, oh, better find someone to have kids with. Like, I don't think many blokes are like that.
No.
I've met like single guys being like, need to find a mother for my kids. It's a bit weird, but who knows, mate.
Yeah, also it's difficult to do comedy when you've got children as well, I think.
So what, I was going to talk to you about nothing but comedy, but I mean, it hasn't gone amazing. So let's focus. What
do you mean?
I love talking to you, Simon, but it's hard. It's
I'm
hard
sorry.
sometimes. But don't be sorry, because this is just who you are, okay? Don't apologise for who you are. Let's talk about something you know a lot about for the last couple of minutes. Let's talk about comedy and where you're going to take it and how successful you plan to be.
I don't know. I'd like to. I'd just like to keep it as my job. Really, it'd be nice to kind of be on TV and stuff and tour and all that. But I just really enjoy, just doing it and having that kind of lifestyle.
Do you like the travelling? Do you like being out of the house and just going places?
Yeah, now that I drive, I do. I didn't really like trains and stuff. I found it quite stressful. But now that I can just kind of set off whenever I want.
Do you have a job as well, or is comedy
No, I just
your job?
do comedy. Yeah.
Interesting. Did you do that before you won the big cash prize?
Yeah, I think before I won that, I was
just poor and doing comedy.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was full time for maybe 10 months or so before I won that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much was that a life-changing amount of money, or did it sort of last a little while and now it's all gone?
Well, it was, because that's what I used to kind of learn to drive and get a car and insure it and stuff, so it did change my life, really. So yeah, it's made everything a lot easier.
But now, are we saying that money's gone?
Yeah.
It's been spent?
Yeah.
But you've made more money since?
Well, it's like it's investing. It's like a business, isn't it?
You bought a car.
I bought a car, learned to drive. So it's a lot easier to work now, and I'm not spending as much money on trains and stuff.
Do you think it's more expensive to run a car though?
If things go wrong, yeah. But in terms of petrol, no, I think train tickets are more expensive.
Because your trains run on diesel here. Do you have any thoughts about the environment?
No, obviously, it'd be good to protect it, but I don't know.
What? Are you going to do anything to help protect it?
Well, do you know what? I'm thinking of, obviously, well, my car that I've got now is manual, but I'm thinking if I get another one at some point, I'll get like a hybrid or something, just to be a bit more environmentally friendly. Why are you laughing at that?
Because you said my car is manual, right? And the opposite of manual is automatic. But you meant to say your car is petrol at the moment, but you might get a hybrid. Is that right?
But hybrid cars are automatic, aren't they?
Not necessarily. There's Priuses that you can get that have like a shifter.
Oh right. Well.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean anyway. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. It's just you said it was manual, which is about the gearbox, and then you talked about the engine as well. But it's fine. You didn't even know how to unlock a car, so it's good to see how far you've come from where you were before. Do you ever feel like you'd want to leave England? Like, are you happy being British in England, or do you think you'd be better off going to America or Australia or Europe or?
What, to do stand-up?
Yeah, to do stand-up and then maybe just to live as well. Like, I assume as you're living, stand-up will be your career, so...
Yeah. I don't know, I'm a bit worried that they just wouldn't understand me.
They just wouldn't get you?
Yeah. I don't know, they might do. Well, I've done gigs where there've been like Australians or Americans in, and it's been fine, but I don't know, I'm just happy here. I'm not very... I was going to say I'm not very ambitious, but I think I am, but I'm not.
I feel like you're ambitious with action, not with words, if that makes sense. So you'll never be the type to be like, oh, watch me, I'm going to go and do this. But all of a sudden, like, you'll turn around and be like, oh, fuck, Simon Lomas is doing that.
Yeah.
Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah, I think so. I guess maybe I kind of don't want to embarrass myself by saying that I'm going to be on TV in 5 years and then I'm not. Yeah, so I'd rather kind of.
What do you think of people that like do say that and then maybe don't do it, or they They have all these big, outlandish claims, and then they never quite get to where they promised.
Well, I think it's good to have like dreams and be confident and stuff. It's a shame if people don't kind of reach the goals, but it's I think you're still gonna achieve something. If you set your sights high, even if you don't get to exactly where you want to be, if you get somewhere like even close to that, then it's a good thing. I'm not going to judge people for doing that. Is that a good answer?
I want you to say some real horrible things, because I have heard on the circuit sometimes that you sort of have a heart of gold on the inside, but sort of on the outside you're a bit of a bad boy.
A bad boy?
Yeah, and you sort of talk a lot of shit online about people, and you're really horrible. So I'm trying to get that out of you, but it seems like that's not even really you.
No, it's
you just
not.
You just do it for the laugh. Like what you posted on the post about Josh McCauley robbing money off other comedians.
Oh, the meme.
Oh, that was just hilarious.
I love memes. Yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? I think if it's funny, it's fine. If there's no malice behind it.
What do you think about that sort of behaviour, though? Comedians taking advantage of other comedians for financial gain.
I think it's awful. Yeah, there's no excuse for it really. Especially the Fringe. Yeah, it's such a stressful and kind of financially draining time. Yeah. The last
and emotionally draining as well. Yeah, I remember following Tom B and Andrew's experience last year, and they were quite upfront and honest about how exhausted they were by day 21. Yeah. They were just we are barely keeping our eyes open to do our own show, let alone fly off and do anything else. And it just, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going. Are you going at all this month?
No.
Right. Is it because it doesn't appeal to you from a business point of view, or you just don't want to go?
I wanted to go and do a kind of showcase that I auditioned for, but I didn't get a place on it.
Was that Pleasance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I've just bought a car and stuff, I'd rather just kind of save the money and maybe go up next year and do an hour next year.
I'm going up, but I'm going up completely underprepared, right? I'm not selling in that my show is going to be amazing, right? But I'm going up because my visa runs out in this country at the end of this year. So next year there's a chance I will not be allowed back in the country to do it again. So it's once in a lifetime. I'll go, I'll do it for a week, I'll have fun. My show's an absolute joke. It's funny, but it's also just a shit show. We're just making it up as we go. We're going to make the audience do fucking egg and spoon races and 3-legged races around the venue.
Wow.
Right? It's going to be mad. But that's the only reason that I'm going. But there's a lot of delusional comedians that are going up with an hour on the free Fringe, and they're just I'm getting ready to quit my job. Someone's going to see me, and I'm gonna take it to the next level. Do you feel like it's important for you to be mindful of where you're at and act accordingly?
Yeah, I think I'd rather kind of establish myself on the circuit first.
Yeah.
And then kind of do a show. I think but I also don't want to leave it too late, and I don't want to kind of be afraid of going up and doing it, and I feel like kind of next year would be a good.
Have you done it yet?
Time. Been to the Fringe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done an hour. But
not done your own show?
No, I did Big Value a couple of years ago, which is a showcase show. Okay. And that was really good. And I've not been up for the past 2 years, including this year. But yeah, I feel like next year is going to be the year that I do an hour and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have an hour?
I feel like I will have. I've got time to kind of come up with something and write a show and stuff, yeah.
Because you've got a lot of ideas. You've got that little book.
Yeah.
How do you, what do you write straight in the little book, or does it go through a number of other books before you get to the little book?
So normally I'll write it in an A4, a refill pad. Mm-hmm. And then kind of when it's ready to try on stage, or when I want to try on stage, I'll put it in the little book, and then read it out of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the creative process.
That's it, yeah, that's my process.
That's Simon Lomas.
Yeah.
Right, well, because of the disruptions, we've gone for like 55 minutes, but there's another podcast starting in 3 minutes. I'm expecting another guest, so I'll allow you to sort of shout out anyone that you want to shout out to, thank anyone and promote anything that you'd like to promote.
I don't really have anything that I want to say.
You want to like thank anyone?
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. It's the first time anyone's ever thanked me in the option to thank
Really?
people. Yeah. I didn't expect it to be you as well.
Alright. Thanks to Lindsay and Steve as well.
Are you going to lunch with their house, are you?
I think I will next week, yeah.
Right.
What?
It's just so crazy. Like, all of you do comedy full time, and you're just going to have lunch at each other's houses like during the week.
Yeah, no, they've been really good to me. So I like to spend time with them. What else? Have I got anything coming up? I don't know. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. If people want to follow me on that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it really.
Is there anything people can expect from like your Twitter posts? Do they have a theme to them, or?
Nah, I might like retweet where I'm gigging. I'll tweet the odd joke if I'm trying a joke out, or like a photo or something.
Right. A photo of what though? A photo of you?
Me, or maybe a room, a gig that I'm doing or something. I don't really tweet that much, but I'm not very good at social media.
Why are you promoting your Twitter then?
You put me under pressure, Martin.
Right. Well, this is the end of the Simon Lomas podcast. Thank you for coming, Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you for challenging me as an interviewer and as a friend.
Cheers.
I wish you the best of success in the future.
Right.
And next time we have you on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Probably be end of this year, beginning of next year. Pick someone that you want to come on with as a guest, and the two of you can bounce off each other,
Okay.
like we had with Lindsay and Steve.
Yeah.
And I feel like we'll all have a great time.
Okay. Did you not have a great time today?
I reckon there's room for improvement, Simon.
Okay. Well, thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.